Hi, Carrie here. I help my defeated sister VSGers eliminate self-doubt so that we can really get clear on our needs and wants and build those skills so that we can have more, do more, and be more. Come on, join me. Surgery is only one tool. It's time to add the other tools to the toolbox because it's your body, your health, your life. To be honest, it took me 2 full years of soul searching before I decided to have that really hard decision of bariatric surgery. I was 310 pounds, and let's be honest, I don't even know if I was 310 pounds. I was heavier than that. I didn't know that number, but when I walked into the surgeon's office, I was 310 pounds. And I was super ready for to have the surgery. I thought I was doing all the things right. I was a rule follower from way back. I follow the rules. I listen to the experts. I respect authority. But when I walked into my surgeon's office 3 months post-op, everything changed. My surgeon looked disappointed and actually mentioned that maybe I wasn't losing weight fast enough and hinted that maybe I had to be put on weight loss medication. When I heard that, I was like, heck no, enough's enough. I am not doing this roller coaster of up and down, super anxious about the number. Am I doing it right? I just had enough. And that's the day when everything changed. Today in this video, I am going to share with you my 5 lessons that I learned 2 years post-op. And I maintained a 130-pound weight loss even during quarantine stay-at-home year. I'm super proud of that. And if you want to learn my journey and my biggest revelation, the game changer, then please stick around. Before I get into the lessons, and as I was preparing for this video, I was looking for some photos, some pictures that maybe would help to show you my journey. And I looked on a hidden folder on my phone. I had asked my husband to create a hidden folder on my phone because I did take pictures along my way on my VSG journey. But to be honest, I never looked at those pictures for a whole year after my surgery. And as I was preparing for this video, I noticed and stumbled across a couple videos, little small videos that I had done at the very beginning of my journey. So before we really get started, I was hoping that I could ask your support to share one of my first videos that I stumbled across.
Hi, it's day one. So, day one meaning it is 3 weeks from today that I will have my gastric sleeve surgery. I am starting on my pre-op diet, even though my surgeon told me I didn't have to start for another week. I am going to start today because I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm feeling pretty good this morning. I'm feeling pretty motivated, even though I know that probably will change in attitude. I did take all my pictures yesterday. I took all my measurements. That was really hard for me. I'm very grateful to my husband who just took the pictures and put them in a hidden album on my phone. So I just couldn't look at them right now. That's just me, and hopefully I almost didn't take them. So I'm glad I did because everybody keeps saying you want to have them. So I did do that, plus my measurements. So yeah, today's the first day. I'm excited, I'm motivated. I did actually work out this morning, which was really super hard again. But it's all got to get easier from here in some cases, I'm sure. Okay, so day one, pre-op, diet, 3 weeks from today is my surgery. Okay.
So here are the 5 lessons. So lesson number 1 was really understanding what was my story. I had to get really self-aware because I was realizing that other people were telling my story and I didn't even know what my story was. And so I had to really dig deep. And some of that included really looking at my pain. What was the pain? And not just my physical pain, my mental pain, emotional pain, spiritual pain, really looking at it straight on. Where was I feeling pain? I had to really look deep at that. And that was not an easy journey. I also had to look at what really was my health needs. Did I understand what they were? Did I really fully have a complete picture of what my health needs were? And then the biggest one was I had to really understand and look at what my bigger why was. What got me to my surgery date? What was my rock bottom? What was my bigger why? Because I soon realized that it had to be bigger than the weight loss. What was I really striving for? Why did I make this super hard decision? So here's another quick video of what I didn't realize was my why, but it was something that I had done on my first day.
Okay, surgery day. Gonna head to the hospital in an hour. Feeling kind of tired, but I think that's because of the nausea patch. I guess I'm ready for this. I just wanted to document my why, because I keep saying to document your why. And my why is to have my body meet my mind, to feel present in my body, to not avoid, but embrace life and health. So hopefully we'll be able to take pictures in the hospital, and then I'll do a recording after. So thinking good things, thinking good thoughts, and positive vibes.
So you saw that that was my biggest why, and I've developed that even bigger now. But what is your biggest why? Let me know in the comments. What was your biggest why that got you to your surgery date? The other part of understanding what my story was, I had to really look at my habits, my good habits, my bad habits, my ugly habits. What were they, and how could I change some of the ones that were not working for me? Then I had to really look at my mindset. Where what was I focusing on? Was it scarcity? Was it growth? Did I have a growth mindset? I just had to really look at it. I never thought about it before. So I had to really look at what mindset did I want moving forward. I had to look at self sabotage because I was self sabotaging myself before the surgery date. I knew it was going to happen after the surgery date. And I really wanted to understand what is self sabotage and how can I overcome it. And then lastly, part of my story and being self aware was what was my commitment moving forward? If I wanted this to be bigger than weight loss, I wanted to reach my bigger why, I really needed to understand what commitment was and how to commit to myself and to others. So lesson number 2 was discovering the connections. What do I mean by that? I really wanted to get at the root cause versus just dealing with the symptoms, just putting a band-aid on every symptom. I really wanted to know why. What was the root cause of everything? So part of that I had to look at dysfunction. And part of my dysfunction was I was a super victim to quick fixes, that magic bullet thinking there was a pill for everything. I really needed to look at that dysfunction. And I understood as I was looking at that magic thinking, that quick fixes, magic bullet thing was really what got me to my surgery date to begin with. Then I had to understand my body systems. Like, how was everything connected? I know that for me, and is this true for you, that sometimes we have a doctor for every part. Like we have a doctor for this, and we have a doctor for that, and we have a doctor that treats this. And I really wanted to understand that how are they connected? One part, if something was happening with one part of my body, I knew enough that there was a domino effect and it was affecting other parts of my body. So I really just wanted to understand. The other part of discovering connections for me was really understanding that there was entities, products, people even that just did not have my best interests, my best health interests at heart. And some of that was influences from marketing, fake news, big pharma, big food, inaccurate research and data, and even maybe some of my doctors. I know that personally, my doctors are good people, but there's just some people out there, professionals that just were not updated on the most recent root causes for things. And I just really wanted to understand what that was. And then the other thing about discovering connections is I really understood that it's super important to have community around you, support. And I wanted to build that support. And and lastly, about discovering connections was that there is a connection to our immunity. We need to build our immunity. If COVID year didn't teach us anything, it taught us that it is super important, especially us as bariatric patients. We have a compromised system, is that we need to understand what immunity is and how to build up our immunity. So really understanding that getting healthy isn't all about just losing weight. It it's actually so much bigger than the weight, right? It really, really is. If we don't understand that to have a healthy lifestyle, to be our best selves, to live our best lives, is that it has to be bigger and more than the weight. If we think it's only about the weight, that that is our worth, our value, our identity is only the number on that scale or where we fall on the BMI chart, we're just going to keep playing that game over and over and over again, and it's just going to be the same score. So that was one thing that I really needed to learn as I went into lesson 3 for me was understanding healthy fundamentals. And for me, at month 5, I think it was 5 months post-op, is when I decided to live a very clean ketogenic lifestyle. And yes, bariatric patients can do ketogenic lifestyle. And I don't even have a gallbladder. I had my gallbladder removed at 3 months. The thing is to understand that there's lots of stuff out there about keto. And keto is not a diet. It really is a metabolic state, it's a healing state. And as bariatric patients, yes, we have compromised systems. So you really need to follow protocols and you just don't follow anyone out there on keto. What I decided to do is I actually got certification and training in ketogenic living as a bariatric patient. And I really started to dig deep on what that meant and what it meant for me. And I know that it has great benefits. It's like I mentioned, a healing state. But on top of that, what helped with me is it really helped with my sugar addiction. I had a huge carb and sugar addiction. Those cravings that came with it, it reduced that. But even more importantly than that, is that it helped to resolve some of my bigger health issues and even significantly reduce them or even remove them. The other thing, understanding healthy fundamentals, is that I had to really dig deep on overcoming and dealing with obstacles. What do I mean by that? I didn't want to use food anymore to cope. So we know real life happens, right? Real life happens every single day. So we need to know how to deal with it without using food, like how to cope. Like, as I said, life happens. Life sucks sometimes. We have to deal with loss, loss of a loved one, loss of our jobs sometimes, loss of relationships. We also have to deal with crises. Some of us even have to deal with past trauma. Our past kind of haunts us, or rejection. It's all those day to day real life things, and even happy ones, celebrations, birthdays. We all, well, for me, I used to use food to cope with that, be it good or bad. And I really wanted to understand healthy eating had to be about overcoming and dealing those obstacles, real life obstacles, and not using food. And the last thing, because I mentioned that I do live a ketogenic lifestyle, I really 80% of the time live pretty clean with that. And what do I mean by that? Is I understood that quality of ingredients matter. And it doesn't matter what diet you're on or what food program you are following, is it really does make sense if you think about it and you are self-aware. And once you know, um, quality of ingredients always matters. Lastly, before I move on to lesson 4 is I really had to get clear with monitoring for success. But even before getting clear on how to monitor for my success is I had to define what success was. Like, Have you defined what success was? Is it just the number on the scale? Is that what determines success for you? So I had to understand and really dig deep and really define what success meant to me. And of course, it's tied to my bigger why. And then to be able to monitor for that success, I had to learn how to measure it. And there's many, many ways to do so. And some of that is actual numbers and not be afraid of those numbers. Because trust me, I was afraid of numbers for many, many years. But also how to celebrate our wins and our milestones as we go along and as we're working towards success, whatever that is defined for us. And then going into lesson 4, which is all kind of the biggest lesson I think of all, is learning how to remove roadblocks. What do I mean by that? As I mentioned, life happens, life is up and down, and I really started to think that I didn't have the skills to remove some of those roadblocks that happen every single day in my life. And so I wanted to learn some of those skills and maybe to remove the roadblocks and maybe even prevent them in the future. So that was really understanding what does an empowerment mean? Um, some of those survival kind of soft skills that we think we have, or somehow someone trained us in those. And those are the skills I mean, like how to handle criticism, how to deal with self-talk, how to have a difficult conversation, be it with my loved one, be it with my boss, be it with my doctor, time management, organization skills, all those like soft skills that help us with our weight loss journey, our wellness plan, but also in real life. And I think some of those things were just missing before my surgery date. Also, I had to kind of deal with the victim scarcity mindset. Some of us, of course, had major tragedies in our life that were not our fault. Things that happened to us that definitely were not our fault. But no matter if they were our fault or not, they are our problem. And it's our problem to deal with and to find a solution. So I really had to work on how to overcome that scarcity victim mindset. And then really understand how to set boundaries. I don't think I had a lot of boundaries or knew how to set boundaries with myself and others before my surgery date. And then, of course, learning how to deal with emotions and emotional eating. Emotional eating, huge, tied to those fundamentals that I talked to before, but I really want to understand what are emotions? How do I deal with the emotions? And how do I not use them or use eating to overcome them? So I just wanted to take a moment right now in this video. Is some of this resonating with you? Have you had an aha moment? If you have, please, I would love for you to share in the comments below. I'd like to learn from other people's aha moments, and if any of this is of value of you. If it is value to you, please give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. So lesson 5, kind of the last lesson that I learned in this last 2 years of post-op, is that I needed to develop a customized, personalized wellness plan, not a weight loss plan, but an actual wellness plan. So before I talk a little bit about that, I just wanted to share with you one of my fellow bariatric friends. She said something to me, she wrote it down for me that really resonates for me. And I just want to share that with you. So she wrote, prior to bariatric surgery 4 years ago, I read everything in weight loss surgery and watched all the videos. I did a 6-month pre-certification and met with the nutritionist. I was prepared as anyone could be, but I still missed a pretty big fact about weight loss surgery, that it's forever. This truly isn't a diet or a quick fix. It is a lifelong health journey. I'm very thankful for this surgery, but if I'm honest, I must admit I missed the forever part. So that statement always sticks with me. And isn't it true? We could write books on weight loss, right? We could even write books on how to prepare for a surgery, probably. But the thing is, some way down the road, when we're kind of caught up in the fast losing of the weight, for some of us, we've never even been there before in our lives. It's pretty exciting, right? It's overwhelming sometimes, but we've kind of forgotten that it is a journey that it's a lifelong health journey, and that it is forever. It's not a quick fix. It's not we got to the deadline and here it is. It's something that we have to use um, forever. So I just wanted to share that with you. So part of the things that I needed to learn on how to create that customized, personalized wellness plan for me is I had to align my goals with my values. I had to ask myself, what do I stand up for and what do I stand against? And for me, I really had to ask myself, what do I value? What do I stand up for and what do I stand against? And standing up for me was that it's my body, it's my health, it's my life. And so I stand up for having a voice in that, understanding what I need to do for my life, to live my best life, to live my best self. And what I stand against is, as you probably are noticing, is I stand against magic fixes and finding that quick fix because it just doesn't work. I'm against organizations that support it. I'm against diets that support it. I'm against people who think this little quick fix is going to fix it all and fix your life. That's what I kind of stand against. So I needed to align my goals with those values. So I asked you, what do you stand for? And what do you stand against? And then part of that plan is I really needed to understand how to break through plateaus and stalls. Now, we all know what a plateau is and what a stall is. And I needed to understand, yes, how to break through some of those in regards to weight loss, but also how to break through some of those plateaus and stalls in life, in my real life. So that was something I needed to figure out. And then part of my wellness customized plan is I really had to learn how to take responsibility and be accountable. What does that mean? I'm the one that has to do it. It's my problem to solve. It's my health journey. It's my life. So I needed to learn how to take responsibility and be accountable. And then lastly, I had to really actually build an action plan that grows and evolves with me. No cookie cutter plan is going to work. It had to be something that I knew as I grew as a person, as I learned more skills. This plan couldn't just be a piece of paper that I pulled out, did the checklist. Oh, everything's good. It had to be something that evolved with me as a person and as I navigated through life. So I mentioned before that I had a big revelation, something that was a real game changer for me, and that really was, and I think I've hinted at it to this point, is that we have one body and one life. And we can either be the problem or we can be the solution, but we can't be both. So it's my body, it's my health, it's my life. I have a right to that. I have an obligation to advocate for my needs and wants. And that doesn't just mean physical, that means mental needs. It means emotional wants. It's spiritual, soul. It's all of it. I have a voice. I get to use that voice when it pertains to me. And that means it's with doctors, it's with loved ones, it's in my professional life. I can say no or I can say yes. No one else decides for me. I get to be a full partner. I get to be an active player on the field. I'm at the head of the table. I just needed to understand that I have that voice. It's my health, it's my life, it's my body. And so I just needed to understand that I needed to put and find the other tools and put those in my toolbox. And when it's time to use those tools, I have them to use. I want to leave this video asking you, what is your biggest why? And if you don't have a bigger why, bigger than the weight loss, think back to that rock bottom that got you to your surgery date. What was the last straw? Was it your kids? Was it your loved ones? Was it your grandkids? What was it? Was it your health? Was it all those wishes and desires to do something, to be somewhere, to travel? What is your bigger why? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Do you want and need something better? Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found there was some value, please hit the like button, share the video. Is there one of your bariatric friends out there that maybe is struggling, my goal is to provide a little hope. My goal for this channel is to provide some life skills. I do have training in life skills, and that's the whole purpose of doing this, is that we know there's more to this journey than just the up and down, the roller coaster that we go through in regards to our weight loss. If you haven't already, I would love for you to subscribe and be part of the VSG Life Skills community, because we really do need to put the other tools in the toolbox. And if you feel like my VSG story kind of resonates, or you might have a similar story, feel free to check out the video. Is my VSG story your story? Take care, everybody.